Wait. Stop scrolling. Look closely at that gold statue in Michael B. Jordan's hand. Does it look like a trophy to you? Or does it look like a receipt for a soul? Because while the rest of the world was crying during his acceptance speech, Katt Williams was backstage laughing. Not because it was funny, but because he saw the script. He saw the ritual play out in real time. Have you ever wondered why the biggest night in Hollywood always feels like a funeral for someone's dignity? Why did Michael B. Jordan, the man who literally can't miss, have to be called a racial slur on a global BBC broadcast just weeks before winning? Why did he have to go through a messy, soul-crushing public breakup with Lori Harvey right as he hit his peak? Is it a coincidence? Or is it the Hollywood tax? Katt Williams warned us. He told us they don't give out those Oscars for acting. They give them out for compliance. Today, we are peeling back the velvet curtain. We're talking about the Baphomet rituals, the humiliation before elevation pipeline, and the terrifying truth behind what actually happened in those private rooms at the Academy Awards. Buckle up, because by the time this video ends, you'll never look at a red carpet the same way again. The industry didn't want this leaked, but Katt Williams just pulled the pin on the grenade, and the explosion is about to reveal everything. Now listen closely, because what I am about to tell you is no ordinary movie story. It is the truth of that dark Hollywood basement that these elites have kept hidden for centuries. We are talking about Michael B. Jordan and that grand Oscar night that surprised everyone. But if you understand Katt Williams' words, you will realize that this was all written beforehand. Katt Williams clearly stated that in this industry, nothing is a coincidence, and behind every big victory, there is a massive humiliation hidden. You must have noticed that Michael B. Jordan, who has always been an actor with a clean image, suddenly faced something so strange that just before winning the Oscar, he became a laughingstock. Section 1 begins with this startling question: did Michael B. Jordan truly get the fruit of his hard work, or did he participate in that ritual that Katt Williams has repeatedly pointed toward? Remember, Katt Williams said that until you bow down before them or until they strip you naked before the public, they do not give you that golden statue. If you look at Michael B. Jordan's career, from Fruitvale Station to Creed, he has always been a disciplined actor, but suddenly, why did changes start appearing in his life that were completely against his temperament? Katt Williams exposed that inside Hollywood, there is a specific group that decides who to make a hero and who to make a zero each year, but the price of becoming that hero is very heavy. We saw how Michael B. Jordan was first broken emotionally. His breakup with Lori Harvey was no ordinary breakup. It was made into a public spectacle so that the internet would mock him and present him as a sad boy. This is the same humiliation step Katt Williams talks about. First, your masculinity and your dignity will be attacked, and when you are completely broken, then you will be called onto the stage to be given that award so the world thinks you are so pitiable. Katt Williams even said that behind these award shows are dark rituals like Baphomet, where men are forced to wear specific types of clothing or are given roles that distort their true personality. The same happened with Michael B. Jordan when he was given a dual role in the film Sinners, which looks like a masterpiece of acting on the surface, but if you go deeper, it was an attempt to split his personality into two pieces. Katt Williams says that these people play with your mind, and when they feel you are under their control, only then do they elevate you to a big platform like the Oscars. But the story doesn't end there, because what happened to Michael B. Jordan at the BAFTAs was the filthiest part of this whole plan. Imagine such a huge event being shown to the entire world, and in a pre-recorded show, a racial slur is not censored. Do you really think a giant organization like the BBC could make such a massive mistake? Absolutely not. Katt Williams called this public branding. They want to show that we can humiliate you and you won't be able to do anything. Michael B. Jordan's silence at that time spoke volumes. He didn't protest, he didn't give a big statement, because he knew that if he opened his mouth, his Oscar would slip out of his hands. This is the very silence that Hollywood elites buy. When Katt Williams exposed all these things, he clearly said that the next target was Michael B. Jordan because he had reached such a height from where it was necessary to bring him down or make him a slave. People say Katt Williams has gone crazy, but if you look back at history, every black actor who has won an Oscar has first endured some major public embarrassment, whether it was Will Smith or someone else. In Michael B. Jordan's case, this embarrassment was his breakup and that racist incident. According to Katt Williams, those people sitting in Hollywood who are called gatekeepers were watching Michael B. Jordan's every move, and they saw that this boy was rising too fast, so it was necessary to control him. The first part of this control was to ruin his personal life, and the second part was to humiliate him publicly. Once both these tasks were done, the path was clear to give him the Best Actor award and act as if they were doing him a favor by building his career. But behind the shine of this award is a pain and a compulsion that only Michael B. Jordan knows, or those who understand this system. When Katt Williams said these things, a silence fell over all of Hollywood because no one else has the courage to speak openly about these rituals. He told how specific types of energies and symbols are used at these award nights that are beyond the understanding of the common man. If you listen closely to Michael B. Jordan's acceptance speech, a strange, suppressed agony can be felt in it. He was thanking his ancestors, but that happiness was not in his eyes, which comes with a true victory. It felt as if he was sending a message to someone that I have fulfilled my promise. Now spare me. Katt Williams' expose is also important because he named all those people involved in this dirty game. He told how these people trap new actors like Michael B. Jordan and make them believe that without these rituals, they can never be successful. Today's scandal is not limited to just one actor. It is the unveiling of this entire system that has been going on for centuries. We see how Michael B. Jordan was presented everywhere, but everywhere his personality was kept suppressed. The things Katt Williams said are now proving to be true because as soon as he got the Oscar, a strange change was seen in Michael B. Jordan's life. He is no longer the same as before, and his every step now feels controlled. This is the price he has paid for that statue. But friends, the question arises, will this sequence stop here, or will Michael B. Jordan now have to face more things that are beyond his imagination? Katt Williams has even said that he will now be seen in even weirder roles and will be made part of campaigns that end his true identity. All of this is happening according to a plan, and Michael B. Jordan is just a pawn on this chessboard that the big players of Hollywood are moving according to their will, and to understand this sequence further, we will have to look toward those leaked reports and anonymous sources that narrate the real story behind this night. The atmosphere behind the scenes at the Dolby Theatre was not one of celebration, but one of calculated precision. And this brings us directly into the heart of Section 2. The investigation into the leaked reports that the mainstream media is too terrified to touch. While the cameras were focused on Michael B. Jordan's perfectly tailored suit, anonymous sources from within the Academy's production crew have begun to whisper about what really happened in the hours leading up to that standing ovation. According to these deep-cover insiders, Michael wasn't just preparing a speech, he was being managed by a team of handlers who weren't from any talent agency you've ever heard of. Katt Williams hinted at this when he spoke about the invisible hand that guides the industry, and the evidence is mounting that Michael's dual role in Sinners was more than just a creative choice, it was a psychological blueprint. Leaked documents, allegedly from a high-level security firm hired for the Oscars, suggest that Michael's dressing room was strictly off-limits to everyone except a few select individuals who carry no official titles but immense power. These sources claim that the celebration we saw on screen was the final phase of a contract that began the moment Michael was forced to endure the BAFTA humiliation. Let's talk about the money and the corruption that fuels this elevation cycle. Investigative findings from independent watchdogs suggest that the marketing budget for Sinners didn't just go into billboards and trailers. It went into ensuring that the narrative of Michael B. Jordan's suffering was the dominant story of the year. Why? Because the industry elites know that the public loves a comeback story, but they love a broken man made whole even more. Reports indicate that over $50 million were funneled through offshore accounts to ensure that any dissenting voices, anyone who wanted to speak out about the BBC's error or the suspicious timing of Michael's personal tragedies, were silenced. This is the abuse of power Katt Williams was screaming about. It's a system of bribery and coercion where your career is held hostage until you agree to play your part in the ritual. Anonymous sources have even claimed that the racial slur incident was discussed in email chains weeks before the BAFTAs even took place. They needed Michael to be the victim so they could crown him the victor. It's a classic bait and switch. Public reactions to these leaks have been a mix of blind worship and growing suspicion. While the stans on Twitter are busy celebrating the win, the truthers are noticing the cracks in the facade. One viral post from a former Hollywood publicist, who chose to remain nameless for their own safety, stated, We don't just write scripts for movies, we write scripts for lives. Michael B. Jordan is currently living chapter 4 of a 10-chapter plan. This is where the sarcasm of the industry really bites. They give you a statue worth $500 and in exchange, they take control of a brand worth billions. The lavish spending on the after parties, where Michael was seen looking happy, was actually a carefully curated event where he had to shake hands with the very people who orchestrated his public downfall. Leaked seating charts from the Elton John party show. Michael was placed at a table surrounded by observers, people whose only job is to ensure the talent doesn't go off script. Now, look at the corruption from a different angle. We are hearing reports of elevation bonuses paid out to media outlets that focused on Michael's resilience rather than the blatant racism he faced. It's a pay-to-play scheme where the truth is the first casualty. Katt Williams wasn't just joking when he talked about the secret society vibes of Hollywood. He was describing a corporate structure that operates like a cult. The dual role in Sinners, Smoke and Stack, is being seen by many as a metaphor for the actor's own life. Smoke represents the public image, the one that wins awards and smiles for the fans, while Stack is the hidden, burdened version of Michael that has to carry the weight of the industry's demands. Public reaction videos are starting to flood YouTube with fans saying, "He looks tired," or "His eyes are empty." These aren't just comments. They are observations of a man who has just realized that the gold statue is actually a set of golden handcuffs. Corruption also leaks into the way his breakup with Lori Harvey was handled. Leaked PR memos suggest that the timing of the breakup was optimized for maximum engagement during the awards season. Imagine being told by a board of directors when you are allowed to be heartbroken. That is the level of abuse we are talking about. Public reactions to this have been fierce, with many fans accusing the industry of treating black love as a disposable marketing tool. But the elites don't care about your feelings, they care about the ritual. Katt Williams said they would take your woman, they would take your pride, and they would give you a trophy. And that is exactly what happened. The lavish gifts Michael was seen buying after the win, the cars, the watches, are being described by insiders as hush gifts, meant to keep him distracted while the handlers settle the accounts of his soul. The public reaction to Katt Williams' own role in this has been a wildfire. Half the people think he's a prophet, and the other half think he's a chaotic entertainer, but as Michael B. Jordan's situation unfolds exactly as Katt predicted, the prophet side is winning. People are asking, how did Katt know about the humiliation? How did he know about the elevation? The answer is simple. Katt was offered the same deal and he said no. He saw the corruption up close. He saw the abuse of power. He saw how actors are groomed like prize horses only to be broken in the spirit. The imaginary sources from within the talent agencies are now leaking that there is a Katt Williams clause being added to new contracts, essentially forbidding actors from speaking to independent media or comedians who aren't vetted by the system. They are terrified of the truth. As we dive deeper into the fallout, the financial trail becomes even more suspicious. Reports of a shadow fund used to bail out celebrities who go through ritual humiliation have emerged. This fund ensures that while an actor is being mocked by the public, like Michael was during his sad Jordan meme phase, their bank account stays full so they don't walk away from the industry. It's a trap made of velvet and diamonds. Michael B. Jordan's win wasn't just a win for him. It was a win for the system that proved it could break a man and make him thank them for it. The public's reaction to the dual roles in Sinners is now shifting from he's a great actor to he's a prisoner of his own talent. The corruption is so deep that even the Best Actor title feels like a sarcastic joke played by the Academy. But the real investigation starts when we look at the silence of Michael's peers. Why didn't the other big names speak up about the BAFTA incident? Because they are all in the same script. They know that if they defend Michael today, they might be the ones scheduled for humiliation tomorrow. It's a culture of fear disguised as a culture of glamour. Katt Williams exposed the fact that the standing ovation is often just a signal to the handlers that the subject has been successfully integrated. As Michael stood on that stage, thanking those who came before him, he wasn't just honoring history, he was acknowledging the lineage of those who had also survived the ritual. The investigative findings into the voting process for this year's Oscars also show a statistically impossible surge in Michael's favor right after the BBC scandal. It was as if the apology from the BBC was the green light for the Oscar voters to compensate him. This is not how art works. This is how a machine works. And that machine is now moving into its final phase, where the consequences of this victory will start to manifest in ways that will make the Oscar night look like a dream compared to the nightmare that follows, which leads us directly into the fallout and the legal investigations that are brewing behind the scenes. The consequences of this scripted victory are now beginning to ripple through the foundations of the industry, bringing us to Section 3, the catastrophic fallout and the looming legal shadow that threatens to dismantle the very house Michael B. Jordan just helped renovate with his win. While the headlines are still screaming about his dual-role mastery, behind the closed doors of regulatory bodies and international ethics committees, the sinner's sweep has triggered a series of unprecedented probes. Sources close to the situation suggest that the BBC's broadcast error has moved far beyond a simple apology and into the territory of a government investigation. Independent regulators are reportedly looking into whether the airing of that racial slur was a violation of international broadcasting laws designed to prevent hate speech, with some high-level officials suggesting that the delay was used not to censor, but to psychologically prepare the public for Michael's eventual redemption at the Oscars. If it is proven that a major network collaborated with an awards body to manufacture a victim narrative, we aren't just looking at a scandal, we're looking at a global racketeering case that could lead to the resignations of top executives across both the BBC and the Academy. But the legal tension doesn't stop with broadcasting. There are whispers of a financial crisis brewing within the shadow funds that Katt Williams hinted at. Financial analysts are tracking a massive, unexplained shift in entertainment-based tax havens that occurred the moment Michael B. Jordan's name was read from that envelope. It appears that the hush gifts and elevation bonuses mentioned earlier have left a digital paper trail that auditors are finally starting to follow. We are talking about a potential probe into awards laundering, where millions of dollars are funneled through production companies to buy the prestige necessary to keep a star's market value inflated. If these investigations gain momentum, we could see a string of hypothetical resignations that would make the 2022 Slapgate look like a playground dispute. The fallout would be total, sponsors would pull out, the telecast would be cancelled, and the ritual would be exposed for the world to see. Katt Williams' prophecy about the collapse of the facade seems to be coming true as public backlash moves from the comments section to the real world. We are seeing a growing movement of viewers who are pledging to boycott any project that involves the gatekeepers mentioned in Katt's viral expose. The public is no longer satisfied with the humiliation followed by elevation cycle. They are asking provocative questions. Why does a black man have to be broken to be best? Why did Michael B. Jordan have to endure the loss of his relationship and his dignity for a statue that doesn't even have a face? This public awakening is the industry's biggest nightmare. The tension is palpable. Every time Michael B. Jordan makes a public appearance now, the air is thick with anticipation. People aren't waiting for his next movie. They are waiting for him to break character. They are waiting for him to do what Katt Williams did, to stand up and say, "I'm done with the script." The personal fallout for Michael is perhaps the most tragic part of this entire saga. Insiders claim that the contractual obligations following his win are so restrictive that he has virtually no control over his own schedule for the next 5 years. He has been turned into a high-end corporate asset. The consequences of this victory mean that he can no longer choose his roles. They are chosen for him based on how well they fit the elevation narrative. There are reports of a mental health probe within his inner circle, with friends, the few who aren't on the payroll, expressing deep concern that the dual role of smoke and stack has bled into his real life. He is allegedly struggling to remember where the actor ends and the ritualized star begins. This is the ultimate price of the Oscar. You win the world, but you lose the self. As the government investigations into the ritual economy intensify, we are seeing a panic in the upper echelons of Hollywood. There are rumors of a great purge, where middle management handlers are players at the top. It's a classic move. Cut off the tail to save the head. But Katt Williams already told us who the head is. He already pointed the finger. The anticipation for a whistleblower to emerge from Michael's own camp is at an all-time high. Imagine a lead actor from a Best Picture-nominated film testifying before a committee about the psychological grooming used by the Academy. The fallout would be a financial and cultural earthquake. The stock prices of major media conglomerates are already showing volatility every time a new Katt Williams truth goes viral. The industry is on life support, and the Michael B. Jordan ritual might just be the thing that pulls the plug. And what about the legal repercussions for the BBC? Critics are calling for a complete overhaul of their delay broadcast protocols. The fact that they could edit out political messages but missed a racial slur aimed at a global superstar is being used as Exhibit A in a case for systemic negligence. Lawyers are reportedly preparing a class action suit on behalf of viewers who were subjected to manufactured trauma for the sake of an awards narrative. This isn't just about Michael B. Jordan anymore. It's about the millions of people who were manipulated into feeling a specific set of emotions just to boost the ratings of a dying award show. The tension between the public's desire for truth and the industry's need for the show has reached a breaking point. Now, as we reach the end of this deep dive, we have to look at the final, most shocking piece of evidence. Sources have leaked a post-Oscar recovery plan that was allegedly drafted for Michael B. Jordan 6 months before he even won. This plan details his next public relationship, his next spiritual journey, and his next public struggle. It is a 360-degree control of a human being's existence. If this document is verified, it will be the smoking gun that proves Katt Williams was 100% right about the rituals. It proves that the Oscars aren't a competition. They are a coronation for those who have successfully completed their humiliation phase. The consequences for Michael B. Jordan are that he is now the face of this controversy, whether he likes it or not. He is the evidence. Every time he smiles, the world looks for the pain. Every time he wins, the world looks for the cost. So, here we are at the end of the velvet rope. The ritual is complete, the statue is on the mantle, and the industry thinks it has won. But they didn't account for one thing, the truth. Katt Williams opened a door that can never be closed again. He gave us the lens to see through the glamour and into the gears of the machine. The fallout is just beginning. The investigations are heating up. The resignations are coming. And Michael B. Jordan, he is the man in the middle of the storm, a king on a throne built of secrets. But I have to ask you, the audience, the ones who truly see what's happening, was it worth it? When you look at Michael B. Jordan now, do you see a winner, or do you see a warning? Do you believe the BBC really made a mistake, or do you believe they followed the script to the letter? And most importantly, who do you think is next? Because the ritual never stops, it just looks for a new face. If you want to stay ahead of the next elevation, if you want to know the truth before it's censored, then you know what to do. The industry is watching this video, and they want it gone. They don't want you asking these questions. They don't want you looking at the dual roles of your favorite stars. But we aren't going anywhere. Drop your thoughts below. Was this a setup or a success? Tell me if you see the pattern now. Like this video to show the gatekeepers that we are awake, and subscribe, because the next Hollywood secret we expose is going to make this one look like a bedtime story. The truth is out there, Katt Williams pointed the way, and we are just getting started. Stay woke, stay suspicious, and never stop questioning the ritual. Now, let's get real for a second. The industry didn't want you to connect these dots, and they certainly didn't want Katt Williams to pull the mask off their Golden Boy ceremony. But once you see the pattern of humiliation followed by elevation, you can't unsee it. Was Michael B. Jordan's Oscar a reward for his talent, or a prize for his silence during that BAFTA incident? Was the heartbreak with Lori Harvey a personal tragedy, or a PR-orchestrated ritual to break his spirit before crowning him king? The gatekeepers are watching, and they hate it when the audience starts asking the wrong questions. But we don't work for them. We work for the truth. So, I'm putting it to you. Is this all just a series of unfortunate coincidences, or have we just exposed the most calculated script in Hollywood history? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know if you believe Katt or if you're still buying the official story. If you're tired of the manufactured drama and ready for the real talk, hit that like button to support independent truth. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next Hollywood ritual we expose goes even deeper into the rabbit hole. Stay awake, stay suspicious, and remember, in Hollywood, nothing is what it seems.